Hello, everybody. Welcome to the sixth episode of the Great Bogey podcast. I'm your host, Cameron, and today we've got a few topics we're going to cover. Scottie wins again, AK goes low, and the players is here. Let's get right to the top. Scottie Scheffler. Wait, let me back up. My pick for this tournament has been playing well. He's had top fours in the last two years here at Bay Hill. He has, I believe, top 20 every start this year. Jordan Spieth, what are you doing? Come on, man. Tied for 30th, right? At one point was in the top 5 on Friday. And you go 69, great score. 74, 77 on Saturday, and you follow it up with another 69 to finish the tournament at +1. What happened? What are you doing? Come on, man. Come on. This is prime. Like, we're going in, the Masters is here in a month. You can't be throwing out 77s. I understand Bay Hill's a tough course, especially as the week goes on. Come on. What are we doing? Where's the mental game? That's the way I see it. Jordan's mental game's down. He's down bad. And when he gets down bad, he plays terribly. Absolutely terribly. Never, just forget the fact that I, may have put $20 on you to win this tournament. Forget it. I want you to play well. I'm talking to him like he's going to hear this. He probably won't. We're essentially pals since we met at the Waste Management Phoenix Open on Tuesday. Come on, Jordan. I'm rooting for you. All of America's pretty much rooting for you. We need you. We need consistency. You need consistency. The fans need consistency. We need you. That being said, tied for 30th, took home $123,000. Not bad. Scottie Scheffler. The thing that comes to my mind when I think of Scottie Scheffler's performance this week at the Arnold Palmer Invitational is the clip from Happy Gilmore when he's hitting his hockey stick putter and he makes it and looks up and says, "Uh-oh, Happy, you learned how to putt." Because that's what happened. 1 minute, he's screaming at himself for missing a putt, right? The next, he's making 18 straight putts within 15 feet. What? Maybe that's the wrong stat. He made a lot of putts for a low score, 70, 67, 70, 66 on round 4 to win by 5 strokes. 5. $4 million purse, 700 FedEx points. He remains the number 1 player in the world. I saw on golf Twitter, people said, Scottie, I think it was Dan Rappaport said Scottie Scheffler is the best golfer in the world. And it's not even close. I don't agree with that. Don't agree with that at all. I do think Scottie's number 1. But I have a 1A, 1B, 1C kind of scenario going in my head. Scottie 1A, John Rahm 1B. And I still want to put Rory up at 1C. Rory didn't have his best showing as a tournament hole, right? Tied for 21, 1 under. Shot 76 round 4. 73, 70, 68, 76. We watch Full Swing, you hear, spoiler alert, and he says, being in the spotlight when it comes to the PGA Tour, as he says, PGA Tour, clouded his mind a little bit. Understandable. He had the spotlight on him as essentially a politician for the PGA Tour while he's also trying to compete at a high level in golf. Roy, if that's the case, you better step it up, pal. Actually, here, I'm going to backtrack. After reviewing his scores from this week, I'm going to take him out of the 1C. Take him out of the 1C. I'm going to put another live golfer there. Ironically enough, I find that I like him more from the Full Swing series. It's going to be Brooks Koepka. Scottie, John, and Brooks all win a major this year. Book it. I don't know which majors. I'm going to make predictions as we go on the podcast, as we have episodes coming up on these majors. But I'm going to make my first one right now. I think Scottie takes down his second Masters jacket. I think Scottie wins the Masters in a month. I think Rahm, Koepka, they're all going to be in the mix. I'm excited to see if Neiman can follow up and play well, in these majors that he's getting invited to, because he's got golf Twitter in a frenzy right now, right? Golf Twitter in a frenzy, trying to figure out if he's good or if he's just playing limited fields. Like it or not, live people, their tournaments are limited. How are they limited? You don't earn your way. You get invited onto the live tour, right? You get paid millions of dollars to play poorly. Example, Anthony Kim shot 65 on Sunday. I'm not saying he's not making improvements, but for a guy who didn't play professional golf 13 years, giving him $7 million, what are we doing? It's limited fields. Whereas the PGA Tour, you have thousands of players, amateurs, and people who are striving to make it to the PGA Tour. Right? You have to earn your way there. And yes, maybe LIV is positioning itself as the cream of the crop tour based off the money they're going to pay you to just play golf and not necessarily win. It's they're positioning themselves that way, right? PGA Tour then LIV. I don't think it's there yet, right? Most amateurs or people striving to make the tour want to go play on the PGA Tour. People who remain on the PGA Tour want to play on the PGA Tour. Wyndham Clark made some crazy statements about limiting the field limiting the tour to 100 people. Well, Wyndham, if we did that 3-4 years ago, you'd be nowhere to be found. I think that's a terrible idea. Why would we do that? That makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, there's money out there. People want to make more money doing whatever they do, whatever profession you're in. Don't lie. If you're sitting there saying, no, I don't want to make money, you're lying. Okay. We need to find a way to make tournaments more valuable to the players, pay them more for winning. I don't mind somewhat of a team aspect during some of these tournaments like LIV does, right? The problem with LIV is I'm not staying up till 3:00 in the morning to watch it. Right? I got stuff to do. I got a 3-year-old. Like if I stay up till 3:00 in the morning, the next day I'm dead. We can't do that. The only time I really proactively go out of my way to watch a tournament like that is when the Open is going on in Europe. That's the only time. In the Ryder Cup. Anyways, Scottie Scheffler wins the Masters. Jon Rahm and Brooks are going to top 10. I mean, last year's Masters filled with LIV players. The top 10 leaderboard. Excuse me. Filled with LIV players. Let's do a US Open prediction too. I've been telling my golf buddies and people that I talk golf with, in texts, over Facebook, all that. I think Scottie may even take down the US Open. If he continues to putt, his ball striking's great. It's the best. He learned how to putt midway through a tournament. In his first tournament to a spider putter. Like what? They're in trouble. He's so good. He is so good. So I've got Scottie taking down the Masters and / the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. He's going to go on an incredible run. He's been on an incredible run, right? If he didn't have putting problems, the last, say, 5 tournaments where he just, grazing the hole, he'd have several more wins. Several more. Let's go to our next topic, and that's going to be Anthony Kim shooting 65 on Sunday. I'm going to dedicate this portion of the podcast to a lifelong listener, uh, number one fan. I'm going to call him Brett the Birdman Douglas. Anthony Kim shot 65 on Sunday, which was, I believe, the third best round on Sunday put out on the Live tournament. 5 under par. I want to point out during this section, too, that Phil Mickelson shot 80 the first round of the tournament. He put a lab putter in his hands and shot 80. Brett's going to say, well, Hong Kong was too tight for Phil. That's not necessarily true. He came back and went negative. He went 2 under par the next day and then even on the last. The folks who finished behind Anthony Kim for the tournament, Jason Kokrak, Hudson Swafford, Phil Mickelson, and Kieran Vincent. Kokrak and Mickelson are on teams, right? So Anthony Kim's we'll call him a free agent, whatever they call him over there, free agent. If he continues to play like this, going 5 under par, finishing ahead of people on teams, how does he earn a spot onto one of the teams? I don't know how that works in Live. Do they just create a new team and expand the field? Is there relegation for teams? I don't quite understand how that works. So that's my homework. Go figure out how the team aspect works in Live and figure out, what kind of path could Anthony Kim have to join the Crushers, the Fireballs, the Rippers, the Majestics, the Cliques. I will say I did stay up and I watched like maybe an hour or two of the Hong Kong tournament in Live, Saturday and Sunday. It was exciting. It was. There was a 3-way playoff between Abraham Answer, Paul Casey, and Cameron Smith, plus AK shooting 65, 5 under par. I mean, there's no denying they put up a good tournament this year if you watched it. A lot of people that I know just don't give Live the time of day. So it's not necessarily going to matter to them. You had Paul Casey making an incredible chip, I believe, to make the playoff, right? On Sunday. You had Abraham Answer. He shot +2 on Sunday. He almost lost it for himself. He went 7 under, 8 under, +2. Won the playoff with a birdie, while the rest of the guys seemed like they bogeyed. Joaquin Neiman, 2 holes in one. Not Joaquin. He had one of them. But two holes in one and one day at the tournament was pretty cool. I believe it was Joaquin Neiman and oh shoot, what's that guy's name? Samoya. Just really cool. Really cool. A lot of people saying Joaquin Neiman is one of the best players in the world. He's won, I think, twice this year on Live. He went 7 under on Sunday, final round, to put himself in 4th. Which team won? The Crushers won. So that's DeChambeau, Casey, Howell, and Lahiri won by 2 strokes. Whereas Neiman's team, Torque GC, Neiman, Munoz, Pereira, and Ortiz finished second at 33 under par. He's playing impressive golf, and like I said earlier, I'm excited to see what he does at the Masters. And I believe the PGA where he was it the PGA? He was invited to another major. I'm excited to see where he finishes. Is he going to top 10? Is he going to make the cut? It's going to be telling. It's going to be big for the Taylor Gooches of the world advocating that they need more people at the majors. Like, do they? I mean, Rahm, Mickelson, DeChambeau, Johnson, Cam Smith, they've all earned their way by winning majors prior. They've all earned their way to these majors already. Should you just get blanketed invites? I don't know, Taylor Gooch. I don't know. I do not know. So we got Scottie winning the Masters. I'm excited to see where Joaquin finishes, how he plays. If he wins, it's going to be huge for the Live program, right? I think I think it's different if say John Rahm wins his second, or if DJ wins his second, or Brooks wins one. If Brooks wins one, it'll be huge too because it'll be his first Masters. Uh, well, I don't know. It's going to be an interesting major season this year. The four majors are going to be interesting, um, just with all the Live players. Especially the ones who earned their way in from years past, coming in, see where they finish if they win. Leave a comment. How many majors do you think will be won by PGA Tour players and Live players? Do you think it'll be 3 Tour players, 1 Live, 4 Live, 0 PGA Tour? I'm gonna go down the middle. I'm gonna say 2 and 2. I think Scottie wins here. I'll make some way too early predictions. I think Scottie wins the Masters and the U.S. Open. I'm gonna say Cam Smith wins another Open. I think Brooks wins his third PGA Championship. You heard it here. Was it his third or would it be his fourth? Brooks Koepka. Those are my way too early predictions. All right. We've talked about Liv. We talked about AK going low on Sunday. We talked about Jordan Spieth, being a head case on the golf course and just losing it. Then to get it back on Sunday. Jordan, I need you, pal. I need you. Golf's better when you're playing well. We've talked about Scottie Scheffler and the run that he's probably going to continue and go on throughout 2030, barring injury. He's so young. He's going to dominate. I just have a feeling. He's so unconventional with his driver swing. His feet are all over the place. It's exciting to watch. It's also nerve-wracking. Our unofficial sponsor, Cherry Coke Zero, brought to you by Nectar of the Gods. Chase it with some water. I believe the next LIV tournament is going to be in Miami at Trump National Doral, the 5th through the 7th. That's nice that I won't have to even think about getting up or staying up till 2 a.m. in the morning to catch a glimpse of it. I will say the broadcasting for the LIV has gotten better each time I watch it. I do enjoy the putting, the aim point, not the aim point, but the line that they put on all the putts. For the viewer, it shows where the player's aiming, the intended line that they're trying to hit. I have yet to play around with watching every shot that I want to watch. So if I want to watch all of AK, I can just go watch him or yada yada yada. I've only watched it on my phone. I don't think it's available there. Still have never downloaded Caffeine TV. Probably won't. Excited to continue to develop a like for LIV Golf and watching it. This week we have the players for the PGA Tour touted as the best field in golf. And my question to the audience, do you think the players are still the best field in golf? Do you? We're missing a lot of people. A lot of people not there. I don't think there's any LIV players, right? Because Cam Smith won it, but I think you only get 2-year exemption, and we're past that. Would he even be able to play? I don't know. The exemptions and how you earn your way into tournaments is different for each one, right? So, just pulling up the field here, see who we got. But it's still stacked. Don't get me wrong. We don't have Rahm. We don't have Brooks. We don't have those players. We don't have DeChambeau. We still have a very good field. Very good. Yeah, we got tee times here. All right. A lot of tee times. One guy I like keeping tabs on is Zach Blair. A, because I want to go play his golf course. B, because he just seems like an all right guy. And whenever I do follow him, he plays pretty well. So, I don't want to put 2 and 2 together, but we got 4 there. So he's first out. Him, Ryan Moore, and Chesson Hadley. I know we have some stacked ones. Tee times. We got Joel Damon going off 10. with Christian Bezadenhout and Minwoo Lee. Minwoo Lee is growing in fan base, right? People like him. People like watching him. Joel Damon's a crowd favorite because of Full Swing. His episodes in Full Swing were very good, both seasons. Um, and if you watch certain YouTube videos, you see the changes he's made in his mental game. He just seems like slightly different, right? Excited to see what he does this year. So far, I don't think he's done much, but that's okay. Still early in the season. Then we've got what I'll say we can call our first, marquee, stacked, absolutely jam packed um, threesome at 6:35 a.m. Mountain Time. Going off hole 10, we have Victor Hovland, Rory McIlroy, and Jordan Spieth. I love watching all three of those guys play golf. Victor Hovland just seems like an extremely likable dude. Rory's Rory, and Jordan's Jordan. Jordan, I got off my soapbox about the Arnold Palmer. Let's get our head on straight. Let's make sure we are in tip top shape mentally to go out and shoot low scores at the players. I'd love to see him grab one. Rory's won it. Victor's never won it. I think that's going to be one of the lower pairings of the tournament, Thursday and Friday. I think they're all under par. Book it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say Rory finishes the lowest out of those three on Thursday. Go take that to the betters. One person I want to see play well as Tom Kim. We've mentioned him on the podcast before. Just an extremely likable guy, very young, a bright future ahead of him. Then, some of these fall off a little bit. You got Horschel and Sungjae together with Webb. Webb Simpson hasn't really been relevant until the last couple weeks. Not interested. Then you got the rookies together. This is interesting. I didn't know this was happening, but you got Jake Knapp with Matthew Pavon and Nick Dunlap going out on number 1 on 11:18 Mountain Time. Could be interesting to see how those three rookies who are new to the tour this year play. I say new to the tour. They've all won, and they've earned 2-year exemption right. Let's see how they play. It's a big tournament, probably the biggest tournament that they've played since the ones they won. That's going to be an interesting threesome. Then I'll say the next one, star-studded. There's 2 of them here, but the next one's going to be Hideki, Matt Fitzpatrick, and Max Homa. That's going to be a good threesome. Looking forward to that one. Then this is probably second, maybe 1B to the prior pairing of Hovland, McIlroy, and Spieth. But you got Scottie Scheffler, Ricky Fowler, and Justin Thomas going off at 11:40 off number 1 tee. A very, very stacked lineup when it comes to marquee and preferred pairings. Do a quick scroll here, make sure we're not missing anybody. I don't mind this one. Tony Finau, Will Zalatoris, Shane Lowry. Shane's playing well. He had his best showing at the Arnold Palmer this past week. He made some funny comments about, he loves Scottie Scheffler, doesn't love playing golf against him. And Will Zalatoris, I think whatever putting that Scottie Scheffler learned mid-tournament, Will Zalatoris forgot it. Because I was at one point I was watching, I was like, oh, Will Zalatoris is not missing any putts. He had a 5-stroke lead at one point. 5-stroke lead. And then he ended up losing. I think he was 8 strokes behind Scottie at 7 under at the Arnold Palmer. He's never been known for his putting. It has certainly gotten better since, pre-injury. But what happened, Will? I'm rooting for you. You're the guy I picked in my pick'em pool this week. You're it. You gonna win? That'd be great. Tony Finau, I like watching him play. He's a family man. Good guy. It seems like. I know quite a few people who don't necessarily think Tony's that very good of a golfer. I disagree. What do they know? Uh, I am excited. We got Sahith Thakala and Akshay Bhatia paired with Austin Eckroat. Could be sneaky good. Sahith is playing pretty well. I wish Akshay would play better. He missed a cut in his last tournament, but he's still very young as well. He went pro when he was like 12 years old. So you heard my pick, my outright winner for the Players Championship in Will Zalatoris, and we're gonna throw out 2 top 10s as well as 3 top 20s. Take them to the bank, make the bets. Completely ignore the fact that I think I missed all my bets last week. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Okay. This is not a betting advice show. This is just saying the bets I'm putting out there. Outright winner, Will Zalatoris. Top 10. Top 10, we got 2. Excuse me. And we're going to go Scottie Scheffler, of course. Scottie Scheffler may even just win. Scottie Scheffler. And I think Ricky plays well this week. I want to see it. He's a 2015 Players Championship winner. He's played well here before. He's got his groove back a little bit from prior years past. Ricky Fowler, Scottie Scheffler, top 10. Top 20s. I'm going to do a little more sneaky top 20s here. Okay? We're going to go. We've got Luke List, top 20. Sam Ryder, top 20. And we'll go a little bit more, higher odds, better odds with a Rory McIlroy top 20. We kind of went on a limb, Luke List, Sam Ryder. Let's bring it back in with Rory, top 20. We'll add one more. I like this kid. He's great. I hope he does great things on the PGA Tour. Ludwig Aubert, top 20. Book it, guys. That's what's happening. I always enjoy watching the Players Championship. I do think it's probably still the best field in golf, even if we're missing Jon Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, DJ, Brooks, Cam Smith, all of those guys. I still think it's the best field in golf outside of majors. That being said, let's talk about what we've got going on the next, we'll say, week, 2 weeks. I'm taking some time off the old 9 to 5. We're going to be hanging out in Parker, Denver, where I live, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're recording this on Tuesday, playing my favorite course that I like in Littleton, Colorado, called Raccoon Creek. Love playing there. They got a great logo. If you're ever in the area, add it to the list. It's not mountain golfing. It's not like Arrowhead, and it's not like the one out in Golden. What is that called? Fossil Trace. Your standard kind of park golf course. It's always in great condition. They've got great carts. They've got great cart girls, people driving around giving you drinks. They've got a great clubhouse. One good thing about the surge in golfers in Denver is that dozens of courses in Denver, in Colorado, have gotten new clubhouses. And I love Raccoon Creek's clubhouse. They got a big old dining room, big old bar. They've got outside patio seating. They've got a nice pro shop. They are one of the courses that benefited heavily from the influx of golfers. So we're playing Raccoon Creek tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, hanging out. Then Sunday, my wife, myself, and my 3-year-old are flying to Boca Raton, Florida. So we're going to go to Fort Lauderdale, get an Uber up to Boca to my cousin's house. And then on Tuesday, I want to talk about this because I'm playing the park at West Palm Beach. This place looks incredible. I know a gentleman, one of my good friends who played it, says you got to get out there. So we booked 8 a.m. tee time for Tuesday. If you've played there, if you know what's going on, anything before 9 a.m. is A, mandatory walking, and B, mandatory caddy. Last year, I played 36 holes at Trinity Forest, my first experience with a caddy, and it was awesome. I don't know why we don't do that more often. Unfortunately, the munis and all the public courses don't necessarily have a caddy program, but whenever you can, take a caddy. So I'm excited to play the park at West Palm Beach, formerly known as, I believe, World Woods. The place looks incredible. Um, I'm going to hopefully be able to do a podcast while I'm on vacation after the kiddo goes to sleep. Maybe he's napping. We'll try and get some footage from the park as I'm playing golf, and hopefully get maybe our first YouTube video up of some golf footage. You can see me swinging a little bit, probably make a few double bogeys. We'll see how it goes. Guys, remember, we are the Great Bogey Pod on X, the Great Bogey Podcast on YouTube and Spotify. Please like and subscribe. It's how we grow the community. It's how we make this thing happen. And as always, thank you for listening.